nice to see you. Nice for you to pop along and just have a little look at the vid and come and see me and have a little catch up. And I'm saying thank you very much, because I know this is going to take up a little bit of your time as usual, and that's because this one's going to be a bit of a lengthier update. I'll try and do a lengthy update once a week to sort of let you know what we're doing, and if I can keep it up once a week now and let you know what we're doing and how we're getting along, and then that way you don't necessarily have to watch all the little vids that I put up in order to know what's happening and where we're going. I don't need to worry, excuse me, I don't need to worry too much about my subliminals now, do I? Because, you know, I've got all the subliminals I want. In the old trailers that I've been making, which I'm enjoying immensely, I have to say. I am loving that. So I've got some notes so I can give you a bit of an update. Now I've got some good news to tell you, and it's something I've been deliberating with. Shall I impart this information or not? And but I just feel that in this what would we call it? In this vein of transparency that I'm trying to keep to, I think it's quite important. Anyway, I'll come to that. So, first and foremost, let's just give you a little bit of an update on where we are and what we've been doing. Okay? I'm doing more and more of these trailers. I'm loving the idea of the trailers. They're only a minute long and I can advertise everything. I can make a different advert for different things, which is pretty cool. And also it bungs information up there where you've only got to watch it for a minute, you know, a minute and a few seconds, and that's it. You're up to date with whatever that is that I'm advertising. If it's a prize bundle, then it's a prize bundle. You'll notice that there are there are 3 prizes now on the raffle site. We have prize bundle 01 and bundle 02 and bundle 03. So all you have to do is go and search TGBCH raffle for prize bundle and you'll get all the prize bundles. Now, those prize bundles are aimed at over 500 quid a day. So that's the idea, is that I'm each one of those is over 500 quid's worth of stuff.
And I'm going to be making all sorts of parcels, putting all sorts of parcels together, coins, stamps, prints, all sorts of stuff. People can go for it or not go for it. They can, there's a free entry to every single raffle. So you could end up winning, you know, some £500 prizes, pardon me, for free. I can't get rid of that, can I? No matter whenever I do a video, I've always got in the burps and the whatevers. It's part of the stuff, you know, when it all went wrong. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish with that, putting up a parcel every day worth at least 500 quid, if you've been wondering what's going on with that. Now why am I doing that? Well look, I've settled around somewhere in the region of about 50 grand's worth of debts now, right? 50 grand. Now in order for me to settle, drop my pen, in order for me to be able to settle 50 grand, I've had to send out more than 50 grand's worth of goods. I mean, in some cases, you know, people got some rip-roaring deals, and depending on what it was that people bought and how much they were cancelling off, they got a little bit extra or whatever. So I did, pardon me, my absolute best to not only pay people back that way through product, but also to say to them, fair's fair, you're paying me the retail price for the product, so fair's fair, I've got to give you the full amount of whatever it was that I'd promised you in the first place, for cashing that in, you know, when it comes to the investment or the original 3 times your money. Or in fact anything else that I owe for, etc. But in order to settle that, you know, there's a certain amount of what's the name, maths here, that in order to settle that, I've had to physically wrap, pack and send out more than 50 grand's worth of stock. That's a lot of stock. It's a lot of stock. It's gone. Not here anymore. It's gone. So you might think, well, we ain't going to have much stock left. Pardon me. Now let me tell you, apart from, obviously, 50p's and £2, because those 50p and £2 sheets that I put up, they do get slaughtered when I put them up. And part of the reason I think they get slaughtered is because, well, yes, they're high value, but at the same time, you're getting 30 different ones each time. £2, 50p's or a mix or whatever, but you're getting 30 different types, so you're bound to be getting in there some that are like not so necessarily easy to find or whatever. And they work. They absolutely work. So apart from them, because I'm always running out of designs, there's never enough for me, you know, like now, I've got a load of sheets half filled and I need to get hold of a few more 50p's and a few more £2 in order to finish them off, because, you know, there are certain designs I've got loads of when I bought them in, and one thing and another. And there are certain designs, obviously, I don't get enough of. So that's why at the moment there aren't any £2 or 50p coin sheets up there. It's not because I haven't got any £2 or 50p's. I have got some, quite a few. And, pardon me, they're all in sheets. You know, they're out of the boxes and I've sheeted them all up, etc. But the sheets are part done, so I've got to get some more of those to finish the sheets off. But anyway, I'm labouring the point. The point is that is the only coin where I'm what you could call struggling a bit, because of the extra designs that I want. But other than that, sending out 50 grand's worth, sending out 50 grand's worth of stock hasn't made a dent in the amount of stock that I've got. If you piled all of the stock that I've got against the wall, one wall, everything piled against it, you would see that the 50 grand's worth that I've already sent out and given people doesn't make a dent in what I've got. I mean, I've got a garden box. It's the size of one of these garden boxes. Let me show you. Can you see that garden box there? That one there, right? It's a big old garden box. It's one of them garden boxes you can sit on. You know, waterproof and so on. So you can sit on it like a bench. Now I've got one of those outside my back door there, and it is half full. I'm not going to say it's full up. It's half full, and it is half full of pre-decimal. Completely half full of pre-decimal. Now we're talking everything from 2 shillings, half crowns, farthings. We're talking old wheel, what they used to call old cartwheel pennies. Cartwheel pennies are like, they're almost like if you take a couple of 2p coins and put them together and see how thick that is, that's like a cartwheel penny. It's about the size of a 2p, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe the size of a 50p, but, or a cross between the two, but it's thick, really thick. And they call it a cartwheel penny. I actually don't know why they call it a cartwheel penny. It's probably to do with the design. It looks like a cartwheel or something, but they call it a cartwheel penny. And these go back like over 100 years. These go back to, you know, your early Victorian times and before then. I've got loads of those in there, you know, farthings, half pennies, pennies, dating back a couple of 100 years. And shed loads, obviously, of Queen Elizabeth II and all the easy ones. You know, whatever the easy ones are, you can guarantee I've got loads of them in that box. And whatever the hardest ones are, you can guarantee I probably haven't got that many. But there is a load of good stuff in there. And that's just one box. I've still got the lockup. That's got a lot of stuff in it. I've still got various places. I'm not going to say where they are in case someone decides to come down and rob the place. But there are certain places where I've got coin and various types of coin. I've got a box in there with over 10,000 coins in it I haven't even sorted through yet. Don't know when I'm going to get the chance to sort through that one. World coins mixed. It's so heavy, the box, you can't hardly pick it up and lift it. So I'm saying this because to sort of give you a feel and an understanding that when I said I've got tens of thousands of coins, I seriously meant it. I've got tens of thousands of coins. You know, at the retail price, all of my stock added up to over £1 million. I've been a hoarder for 7 years. There's things I wouldn't let go, which is why I'm so upset today. There's things that I just would not let go over 7 years. There are certain coins that I've been talking to you about. So, for example, for 7 years, coins like the 1984 20 pence and the 1985 20 pence, every coin search we've done of every single bag that we've done of 20p's, and we've done tens of thousands of them over the 7 years, coming into 8 years now. We've done tens of thousands of them, and I would never let an 85 or an 84 go. It doesn't matter to me that I'm selling 4 a week, or you know, and I only sell bulk of them every now and again when a manufacturer wants them. Doesn't matter to me. I know they're hard to get. I know they're rare. I know they're worth a couple of quid each for 20 pence. I'm not going to let them go. No matter how many come my way, as I've often said to you before, there are certain coins, it doesn't matter how many come your way. You do not let them go, like a 1982 penny. If you see a 1982 penny, you do not let that go. It's worth 3 quid. You don't let it go. In good nick, it's worth 3 quid. In crap condition, it's worth £1.50. It could be dirty, it's still worth £1.50. Let me tell you that. So, and I know this because I've been doing it for 7 years. So there are certain coins there are certain choice coins. Like, for example, the Navy coin. I call it the HMS Belfast, which upsets a few people, but that one, we know the coin I'm talking about, right? And the Britannia 2015. I even bought them. I would see people selling them at like 4 quid each and think, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know the value of this. The moment they were minted, they were worth 25 quid each. But of course, everybody's finding them in the change, but without realising it. And I try to educate everybody and say, look, you don't get it. You need to get it, because in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, that coin is going to be as valuable as what the Northern Ireland is now. And of course, people would laugh and you know, and so on. No, it's not, because I can go down, I can get a bag of coins and I can find 6. Well, you know, I do understand the supply and demand, and I understand how that mixing pot works, and I understand how long it might take for coins to suddenly, boom, hit that value. But they do, and it comes, and bang, they hit that value. There was a time when you could have picked up all the Northern Islands you wanted for 4 quid each. 4 or 5 quid each. You could have bought all the ones you wanted all day long. And now you'd be sitting there going to yourselves, oh yeah, I wish I'd known when they were 4 or 5 quid each here, and I'd have bought 100. But would you? Because at the time they were 4 or 5 quid each, they were 4 or 5 quid each to everybody, not just you. So of course you look at it and you look at the whole market and you go, well, you know, they're not very valuable. No, not now, but they will be. That's how you look at certain coins. Anyway, hello Caspers. It's Caspers. Casper. Say hello to your door in public, Caspers. Look. Casper. No, he's giving us his bum, which you don't want to see. He tends to come up, he turns around, backs up, puts his bum to me, and it's like, yeah, give us a little bum rub. And he'll stand there for half an hour while he gets his little bum rub and haunches. Anyway, what was I saying? So, and it ties in, it does tie in with a little bit sort of why I'm a bit upset today. And I'm upset today not because I found out the news today, but I'm upset today because I'm thinking, it's been weighing on my mind. Do I say anything or don't I say anything? Is this one of those instances where I should keep my mouth shut and not say anything? Or is this one of those instances where I need to be transparent and level and say, this is what's happened? And it's been weighing on my mind over the last couple of weeks, really. And I've only just decided that after the last one, that I'm definitely going to say something, because I don't know where it's going to end at the minute. So I'm talking in riddles again, aren't I? Okay, so going back to what I just said about certain coins, there are certain coins that you would have to prise them out of my hands with a crowbar. You'd have to whip me over the head in order to get those coins off me.
There is no way I will ever make a mistake and cash them in. There is no way I will ever be too skint on those coins that I would cash them in. I could be facing homelessness before I sell those coins. I've often said there are certain coins I'd sell the shirt off my back before I sold that coin. If I had 100 1982 pennies that are only 1p, that's £1, and I am so skint I need food and I'm wearing a £60 shirt, I'll sell the shirt before I sell any one of them, before I cash any of them pennies in, no matter how desperate I am, because I know the value, absolutely know the value. And that's really important because all the 1985 20p's that I've hoarded for near coming on now 8 years, all the 1984 and 85 20p's, all gone. I had an order from one of my wholesale people, and they wanted a load of 1984 20p's, and I ain't got that many here. But I knew I got a box or two. When I say a box, I mean a takeaway box, you know, the plastic takeaway food boxes, full of them, because I've been collecting them for 7 years. So I've gone down the lockup, I've checked everything down the lockup, not there. I've checked everywhere that I would put coins like that. Sorry about the state of my ear, I need a haircut. I've checked everywhere that I would put coins like that. Nothing. So that means they disappeared. Well, they don't just disappear, do they? Things don't disappear. We're not, you know, Tommy Cooper don't live in my house. You know what I mean? Paul Daniels, never met him. And the only person that I know that knows magic is Harry, who's been doing it since he was probably about 8 years old, 9 years old, and he hasn't been anywhere near the place. So how they can just poof, disappear is beyond me. What that tells me is somebody's taken them. And when you're in this kind of a game, oh, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but sometimes you end up asking yourself, you end up scratching your head and going, did I put that there? I'm sure I put that there. I'm positive I put that there, but it ain't there. Where is it? You know, when you get that moment, you have those moments. We all have those moments, don't we? So you start convincing yourself that you, me, I've made a mistake. I've put them in the wrong place. I thought they was in the lockup. They can't be in the lockup. They must be in a cupboard. I'll go and check the cupboards. They're not in a cupboard. They're valuable. Where would I have put them? Check the bedroom. Not in the bedroom. Check the cupboards. Indoors. Not in the cupboards. Check the cupboards outdoors. Not in the cupboards. Where would I have put them? And you start scratching your head, thinking, now look, you know they're valuable. Lot of money's worth. I mean, you imagine how many 20p's you get in a box. A takeaway box that's like that deep. Hundreds and hundreds. You're talking over £1,000 in a little takeaway box. That's the value you're talking. Over £1,000 in a little takeaway box. And we're talking about 3 takeaway boxes, because there were more 1984s than there were 1985s. So I had 2 boxes of 1984s, 1 box of 1985s. They are like rocking horse poo, 1985s. Check the mintages yourself. They are really difficult to get, and for a 20p, you know, yes, you want to look out for 1986 because it was a proof year, of course you do, and you want to look out for the 1992 small head because that's worth a tenner each. But you also want to look out for the 1984 and the 1985 and the 2008, not the Shield, the other one, because you're into a couple of quid each. Which don't sound like a lot, by the way, but for 20p, a couple of quid, that's 10 times the value.
And in a climate when you struggle to get 2.5, remember we talked about this so many times, you struggle to get 2.5 times the retail, and you know, you can hit 10 times the retail, I wouldn't let them go. Anyway, I'm labouring a point. So my 20p's, certain ones have gone missing. Certain specific years of specific coins have gone missing. And it doesn't stop there. I wish it did. I wish it stopped there, because it's only £1,000. Well, it's more than that. £1,000 in a box. I mean, we're talking about just the 20p's. We're talking about 2-3 grand's worth of coins. And you know, if that's all that was missing, I think I'd be all right about it. I know, crazy. Be all right about 2 or 3 grand's worth of stuff going missing. But if that's all that went missing, I think I'd be all right about it. But it ain't. It ain't. Not every, because I have one takeaway box left that's not even half full of Navy Belfast. But I had a Tupperware box full up, actually more than one, 2 Tupperware boxes full up of errors, 50 to 75 quid each, full up. Now you're going to struggle to start adding this money up. How much? I am anyway. Full up. Not only that, but boxes and boxes and boxes of them, because over 7 years I saved over 1,000. I would buy them, like I said, I bought them. When they came up for 4 quid, I'd be buying them, and I'd be having a little wry chuckle to myself going, buy them at 4 quid, it's like buying Northern Islands, just stick them in a cupboard. And they are going to be worth so much money. All gone. All gone. I found out that the Navy, I couldn't find the Navy at first. That's when everybody was still here. I couldn't find the Navy. When I was started to do the COA one with the Navy coin. Some of you, because all I had left was 1/2 box, that's all I could find, and in that half box it seemed to be a mix of errors and non-errors, so some of you even got errors just to fulfill the order, you know. So you got your stamp. If you have a look at your coins, if any of you bought those COAs off me with a Belfast, have a look at them and have a good look at those coins, because you may have got errors in with that, so that would make those coins worth about, well, if you had an extra value because of what we were doing with them, you could be going up close to 100 quid, but they were already worth 50 and 75 quid each, depending on the error. Anyway, I digress. So I've lost all of them, every single one, apart from this one little half a box. That's over 1,000. Now you get in a £500 bag of £2 coins, that's 250 coins. So you are talking over, it's somewhere in the region of about 1,200 odd, and I can't be exact on the figure, but you're talking like 5 bags of £2 coin gone. And then to make matters worse, and you know, I got through that one. It's like, should I even mention this? Well, there's so much going on at the time, and so busy, and I was convinced, to be honest, I'll put them down somewhere. Oh, they're down the lockup. They're behind another box. They're, you know, as you do. Well, since then I've searched everywhere, and with everybody not being here, I have searched everywhere on my own. Gone. Every Britannia 2015 that I'd saved, every HMS Belfast that I'd saved over 7 years, all gone. All gone. And the reason I know that there was like a box of more than, you know, a couple of boxes of the errors full up is because, as you know, I separated everything. So upside down, right and correct, I did it all ways round. And we separated it, and we had a box of right and correct, a box of upside downs, and boxes, just overs, because they were just going to be saved. So all gone. I mean, we're talking more than 25 grand's worth, more than 30 grand's worth of stuff gone, just in those.
That's the value between the Belfast and the Britannia's, over 30 grand's worth gone. And then on top of that, you're probably talking about 3 grand's worth of actual, you know, face value. And then on top of that, I had a mention to you about a week or two ago about, I said, oh, we've got them Stephen Hawkins, haven't we? Do you remember old Uncle Stevie, Dragon Lord? He opened them all on camera, didn't he, when we did the lives and all of that. And they were going to be the next one to go out to start getting given away for free to the public. By the way, Kian, some of you know Kian Regan, he did a little coin hunt and he found himself a Gruffalo that we put in circulation with a C stamp, which I thought was really cool. To find that. So, you know, just like we did with the Peter Rabbit and the Gruffalo, the Stephen Hawkins was next, and it was due to get put out. And there was a particular box, and I remember the box, and I remember exactly where it was, and it was full. It was full of them because there was, you know, however many in there, 700, was it, 800,000, whatever it was. And they're gone, nowhere to be found. Before anybody says, no, I'm not covered for anything like that. You know, to try and get covered for stuff like that, it's like when you get into the realms, when you get into the league of what I got into, it's like trying to insure a bank. It's too expensive. So we're looking at a phenomenal amount of money's worth of stuff. I mean, you know, what's 800 times 20 or 30 quid? Do you know what I mean? You're looking at another 30 grand there. So, so I'm a bit gutted. Anyway, so that's happened and I've got to deal with it. I've got to contend with it. There's nothing I can do. There's only 3 people here. You know, the only 3 people here are John and Logan and Kelly. And I can't for 1 second even think it's John. John and I have been working together from day one. John was working for me on less than £5 an hour. You know, I mean, there's just no way that, anyway. So that only leaves 2, and I don't even know where to go with it. I am so upset by it, and I'm hurt and upset because I worked so hard to keep their jobs. I worked so hard through my illnesses and everything. I mean, it's no wonder stuff can go missing. Of course it can go missing, especially when, you know, you go through the illnesses and the shit that I've gone through over the last 6 months. But still, I'm just being trying to be transparent. But, you know, I've got to mention it because, you know, I can't do any, you know, I mentioned the Stephen Hawkins and now I can't do anything about the Stephen Hawkins, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I mean, the only, you know, the saving grace for me is that, will something like this send me under? No, it won't. No, it won't. It won't send me under. It won't anywhere near it. But it is an upset. It is such an upset. It's unbelievable. And I think I'm more upset about it than I am angry. I'm angry, but I'm upset. I'm upset that it's been done to me at a time when I'm ill, all the stuff that's gone on, and, you know, our business was going out the window at an unbelievable rate. And all of this stuff that I've been through, people that work with me here, they know on a daily basis. And if somebody stabs you in the back that close, well, it hurts, man. It really flipping hurts. And I've been royally stabbed in the back like this before. Sometimes, you know, there's just something about some people will always look after number one. When it comes to it, just look after number one. Don't care. And that's it. There's nothing I can do. So I need to move on from that. But anyway, so in order to finish that off, what am I going to do about it? Well, there's nothing much I can do about it. Yeah, I could involve the police, and I have thought about that, still thinking about it, but there's nothing the police can do. There's nothing the police can do. I've stood next to a copper, and you know, you don't have to take my word for it. I mean, ask somebody, ask a policeman, ask the next one, ask Stevie Fraser, he'll probably tell you. Because what the rules in one town are the same as they are in another. And I've stood next to somebody, a policeman, right, with a person that's robbed off me, next to the boot of their car. We're standing next to the boot of the car. And I said to the police officer, inside the boot of that car is a brand spanking new petrol lawnmower. Remember it to this day. It's inside that car, and the only thing stopping you seeing that petrol lawnmower, brand spanking new, it's not been used yet. The only thing stopping you see it is that thin bit of metal called the boot. The minute that boot's open, you will see that petrol lawnmower, brand new, unused. At which point, you can arrest this person for stealing from me. This person worked for me, right close as well. And the words of the police officer was, I can't open that boot, sir, because I have no grounds on which to force that boot open. I need to have suspicious grounds. I need to suspect. I said, well, you can't get any more than that, can you? I'm telling you, it's in there. So you make him open that boot and it's not in there, I'm going to look stupid. I'm happy with that. You can arrest me for making you look stupid. But inside, there's a suspicion. Inside, I'm telling you, he's nicked it. I know because I pay his wages. He's nicked it from me. It's in that boot. The police officer would not open the boot. Would not open the boot. And as it went on, as you can imagine, I got more and more angry. I got more and more frustrated. And they threatened to arrest me. And it's not the first time that's happened to me. I made a complaint about, I was once in the realms of selling videos. I know I'm going on a bit, but I was once in the realms of selling videos. Now, before DVDs came out and I started up this business, I did a lot of pirate videos, but I put all of the money that I was making into legitimate videos. So I wanted to set up a legitimate video business. And anyway, I came out, just got on Romford Market. I just got on Romford Market. Regular pitch, Romford Market, my first day. Got up, 5 o'clock in the morning, came downstairs to the van gone. Gone, not there. All my stock, gone. Everything, every penny, gone. My stall, my accessories, my display equipment, every item of stock, everything I'd put money in and worked for the last couple of years, gone. So I went down to the police station and I reported it to the police station, and I spoke to an inspector at the police station, and that inspector said to me, I said to him, look, I deal in markets, this is where I go markets, boot sales, etc. I hand write a sticker on every single one of my products. There are things that are in the accessories that you can't buy. I know if my stock, if I find it, he said, if you find it, Mr. Lambert, all you got to do is tell us. That's all you got to do is tell us. You find your stock, tell us. I know this goes against the grain a little bit from what I was saying about the certificates and the silver proofs, but it doesn't, because if you follow my advice on the silver proofs, and that's where some of our advice comes from, it comes from learning it physically, going through it, then there'll be more power in your corner, more power to your elbow, and you'll be able to get it back. So watch that, right, if you ever get them nicked off you, certificated items. So anyway, I went to a boot sale, I was working at a boot sale, and lo and behold, there's a seller there and he's selling my stock. And I know it's my stock, it's got my price tickets on them, and it's my writing on those tickets. I called the police. 2 police officers come down. I went through it all with them, told them what the inspector said, etc. I'm standing there. Now I feel like king of the hoop now. I feel, any minute now, I nick you and I'll get my stock back, you bastard. Whoa.
I'm standing there, they're having a long chat, and then they come back. They walk away and they come back. I'm thinking, oh, but you ain't nicked him. Anyway, come over. Right, Mr. Lambert, what I need to explain to you is, we've had a chat to him, and this is God's honest truth. I kid you not, right? God's honest truth. We've had a chat to him, and he can't remember who he bought them off. Bearing in mind he'd only bought them in the last week, because I only had them nicked a week ago. He can't remember who he bought them off. He can't quite remember where he bought them, and he can't remember how much he paid. But we are satisfied he bought them in good faith. So, that's it. I went nuts. I went absolutely nuts. They threatened to nick me, they threatened to take me to jail, take me to arrest me and stuff. I called them all sorts of names, as you can imagine. They threatened me to arrest me for that. And I wanted to go over and punch the bloke who'd nicked my stuff. But I'd have got arrested for that. And I got absolutely nothing back. And it's not the first time. So I know I'm on a sticky wicket, because if I went and made a report down at the police station, no one's going to go and search everybody's houses and things like that. And even if they did, well, they probably wouldn't find anything. If whoever nicked it, if they got any sense, they bunged it in the local NatWest or something, you know. Anyway, and I shouldn't think they keep all the video footage that long. Right, so I needed to cover that, and I needed to hold my hands up and say, you know, I've dropped an absolute bollock. I have taken my eye off the ball. It's my fault, obviously. The responsibility is mine. It wasn't as secure as it should have been, and I should have been more careful, and I should have been less trusting, and it's another lesson I'm going to learn in my life. But I'm not going to have the stress of hiding it. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to have the stress of hiding it. Oh, what if somebody finds out? Oh my God. Well, when they all find out that all my Stephen Hawkins have gone missing, oh my God, and all of this, you know. I mean, you know, if it puts some of you off me, it puts some of you off me. If it makes some of you go, oh Ian, you're a wanker, well, that's fine. I'm cool with that. It's my fault at the end of the day. So, I needed to cover that. Now I'm going on far too long. Raffle's picking up nicely, £500 a day. We're doing that. Told you about that. Comments on adverts. So all my adverts, by the way, stick a comment on. Only one comment per person, but stick a comment on. And then what we do on the live is we'll pick a couple of those adverts, and then we stick some points in your account to go and get some free goes in the raffle. So they're worth sticking a comment on every video. The onwards and upwards video is the one that you want to share, like and comment on. That is the one that you can win £1,000 to spend. Look at that on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. I'm having nightmares with Facebook. I was going to show you the pictures, but I can't because this is on my phone. Although I might actually, yeah, I'm going to upload the pictures. So there'll be a break. And I'll upload sort of in this. Anyway, I'm having a nightmare on Facebook. One of these photographs you're about to see. So the video that says onwards and upwards, that's the one you want to make sure that you share as well. Share that one, because if you win, you won't get the prize unless you shared it. So comment on those. Now, yes. So you're going to see a screenshot, and this screenshot will show you. It shows you that I've got to share an item, and it comes up and says something along the lines of, well, you see what it says now, and that's me sharing a screenshot. I go against community standards. Now have a look at this picture. This is a picture that's allowed. right? This is a post that's been put up there and it was allowed to be shared and so on. That doesn't go against community standards. And what we have is an adult kissing a child on the lips. That doesn't go against community standards. And you might think, well, that might just be an unfortunate photograph, Ian, you know, the way that it's taken. Okay, what about this photograph then? Yeah. Now this makes you sick to the stomach. This is a paid advert. This was a paid advert on Facebook. It got through their systems and was a paid advert promoted by Facebook. Now Chris will tell you, we tried to promote a couple of our raffles. Boosting a raffle and advertising a raffle goes against community standards. Paedophilia, it seems, doesn't. And when I have a little look, I've started sharing to a load of admin groups, you know, add friends groups. Who's going to blow that off? Add friends groups, and I actually don't care. That is spamming, but you know what? I don't care, because half them admin groups are full of paedophiles. You go and have a look at the pictures that are in there. I mean, here's another picture. This picture. Can you see anything wrong with this picture? Most red-blooded blokes would take one look at this picture and go, "Cool, she's got a nice pair of footly bits." And it's not, but look at what you're looking at, you know. Straight away, just look at the bra straps. Just look at the straps on the dress. The one on the big boobies is completely different from the one on the left that has got a very thin strap with a little young face. That little young face is a young face because it's a child. And the picture next to it with the boobies is not a child, but that's all right. That's allowed on Facebook. That doesn't go against community standards. Paedophilia is cool on Facebook. Paedophilia, bestiality, physical abuse, sexual abuse, all of these things are cool on Facebook. I've seen somebody get beaten with a stick, not raising their hands not even raising their hands in defence. I've seen somebody get beaten with a stick until they're unconscious and they've dropped to the floor. That's allowed on Facebook. But I can't advertise my raffles, and I can't share posts for the Great British Coin Hunt. It is driving me insane. It is absolutely driving me nuts. I'm holding this because the wind's about to blow it off. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so adamant about the Facebook sharing, and I'm doing things to get around their system, etc. Because I'm anti it. I'm against it. You're allowing paedophiles to advertise left, right, and centre, but people, decent people that are just trying to save their business, advertise their business, run a business. Now they're struggling. That they stop the sharing, goes against community standards in order to force us to pay us to advertise, and even then my adverts go against community standards, but paedophilia doesn't. So it's really getting on my goat, you know what I mean? So any help you can give us on Facebook, sharing our posts, would be bloody wonderful. If you can share any of our posts, videos, etc., please do. You know, I mean, for no other reason than to say, do you know what, up yours, Facebook. You know, we're going to give Ian a little bit of an hand, because he's not advertising paedophilia stuff, he's not advertising bestiality, he's not advertising abuse of any kind, he's just trying to run a business, you know? So give us a couple of shares. All change checker domains are now set to £1 million. I made a bloody mistake, I had change-checker.org and it was set to 27 grand. He could have bought that and I'd have been in trouble. But I've changed it now. They're all set to £1 million. How am I going to bring him around the table? Boy, this is a long video. How am I going to bring him around the table? Some of you don't quite get how I can guarantee bringing him around the table. So I'm going to try and tell you with a little story. Quick one. I was actually sticking up. The bloke who nicked the mower, he was a partner of mine, sent my business to the cleaners for £250,000 he did. and had £250,000 off the NatWest. I tried to tell them, I said, you can't let him have that money. They went, no, it's his signature, not yours, so we can't talk to you. I said, but the minute he signs it, he's off. Right? Anyway, I said, well, all right, good luck to you then, you deserve to lose it. Anyway, I digress. What was I going to talk about? What was I going to mention? Oh yeah, why I know I can force him round the table. So his daughter worked for this shop. It was one of the sports shops. It was like a Sports Direct or something like that. And one of the blokes in the shop, she was underage, she was under 16, and one of the blokes in the shop thought it was clever, you know, to, oh, this young bit of totty, she's only 14, let's invite her out and stuff. And they invited her out for a drink and one thing and another, and offer her the cocaine and, oh yeah, all this sort of stuff. And anyway, she left and they never paid her wages. And I said, that's naughty. So I went down there and I went in the shop and I had a polite chat to the manager and I said to him, look, you know, I don't want to fall out with you at all. I don't want to cause any problems, but she's not been paid and your staff been trying to do this, trying to do that. It's naughty, she's underage, that's sexual abuse. It's actually classed as statutory rape, had they got to a point of getting her in bed or anything like that. So, you know, this is not on. And what I've come down here for is to get her wages because she's been told she can't have her wages. And he said no. Gave reasons, whatever. And that said no. And I said, look, I don't think you understand. You got the money in that till and you owe her wages. So the sensiblest thing for you to do is take the money out of that till and pay her wages. No, can't do that. She has to claim it from head office. I said, she didn't work for head office, she worked for you. You took her on in this local shop. Anyway, it went on and went on and went on. So I said, okay, I'm going to go outside now, but I'm just going to give you fair warning, right? What I'm going to do is, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to get on my orange box and I'm going to stand there outside your shop and I'm going to tell everybody that your staff offers underage kids, drinking drugs and all the rest of it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out there and tell them so that I'm going to tell everybody not to let your kids come and work in this shop because this is what you're about. And he called my bluff. There's only one thing to do when somebody calls your bluff. You have to follow through. If you don't, you look a bigger mug. Now I know that I will look a mug, but I still went outside and I found a box and I turned it upside down and I stood on top of it and I started shouting my mouth off. And I didn't stop for 2 hours. I just shouted and shouted and shouted. Once I got going, that was it. And I kept it up and kept it up. I had the newspaper reporters coming up and asking me for a story, which I refused to give them. And all of that, because I said it's not about me or anything else, it's just about getting this girl her wages. That's all I want, get her her wages. Anyway, 2 hours I did it for. Rather than pay her her wages, they shut the shop. Closed the shop down, sent everybody home. So, what I'm saying is, when you put enough pressure on, anybody, they will fold. If for example, Ian Glenn lived in a street next to me, because I'm not too well, so I can't travel halfway around the country, but I don't even know where he lives. I know obviously their business is in Poole, but supposing he lived in a street over the road there, now I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I would be walking up and down outside his house, and I got a public right to do that. And I would be shouting my mouth off up and down his house. I would walk up and down and I would shout so that he can hear me from inside his house and so could all his neighbours. I'd go and get a megaphone. I would go and draw up leaflets and put them through all his neighbours' doors. Until eventually, oh look, door's open. And he comes out and goes, all right, let's talk. Let's talk. Enough. Right, now that's in the, what I would say the real world, that's in the down-to-earth world, is exactly how it would work. Think about it. Somebody coming up and down outside your house all day long, you don't want the embarrassment. You don't want everybody around you knowing, because every single shop and every single employee of every single shop now knows that that manager condones drugs, coke, trying to get into the knickers of underage children. Right, I made sure everybody knew. I made sure not only the public knew that we're going to go in that shop, I made sure that people in the shops nearby were coming out. What's all this ruckus about? What's going on? Staff coming out. And what do? Staff tell staff, shop managers, no shop managers, and on it goes. And everybody in town knew that that man running that shop condoned staff trying it on with underage kids. I made sure of it. You got me? You push people into a corner. I know what it's like being pushed into a corner. You push people into a corner, put their back against the wall. Some people will come out kicking and screaming, but everybody, given the opportunity, will come away from that wall and sit around a table. Anybody, everybody. And that is what makes me believe that I keep the pressure on with all these domains. Right now, all Ian Glenn's doing is laughing at us. He's having a bag of crisps and a can of Coke in his office, going, he thinks I'm going, look, he thinks, that wanker thinks I'm going to pay him £1 million for that domain name with my name on it. Yeah, I do, and you will. But not yet. But you will. Like the bloke in the sports shop, I made him close the shop, send every single person home. I made sure every single person around knew what he was into. Made sure of it. And I ain't going to stop with this. So they will come to the table. It just is a question of when. Will they come to the table in a couple of months? Will they come to the table next year? But at some point they'll come to the table, and I've now given myself a time limit of Christmas 2023, wasn't it? That's what I said. Give it 3 years. After 3 years, I'm going to be 60. You know, I'll keep knocking them for the rest of my life, but I'll, you know, the shares thing and all the rest of it, I'll give up on it by then if I ain't brought them to the table. But I reckon I will. And I reckon they'll come to the table. And you guys buying into the shares are what will force them to the table. The more of those domains we set up, the more of his business will be nicking. It's not just about the .com. People type in .org. They actually type that in. So it's about taking an awful lot of business away from them and creating an almighty amount of confusion. There are people out there already now, and even though there is a clear difference between me and Change Checker, there are people out there that don't know the difference. Because people don't spend the time to look sometimes. They just do it quick. They look at a picture, boom, and it's done. Oh, be careful, by the way. It's happening already. The skanksters are out there. You get a phone call telling you about the track and trace. The second they mention getting your card details off you to pay for it, put the phone down. Don't argue, don't talk, just put the phone down. People are ringing you up and they're saying, we're from the track and trace, blah, 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 blah. And by the way, what we need now is, just need your details, because it's 50 quid or whatever the price they're charging for a track and trace kit that's going to be sent to you. It's rubbish. Don't fall for it. Okay, so there we go. I think I've covered everything. John's getting there. He's slowly getting there. He's still not well, poor sod, but he is getting there. Domains are around 60% sold. Please get in there and finish them off. Let's get them finished off. We just need them finished off, and that will be fantastic. And then that's it. That's everything I've covered, and you'll see the pictures at the right point in the video. Thanks very much. And for those of you that, you know, still got a bit of oomph left, still want to support, please support. Any way you can. Patreon, PayHip, the shares, the new email addresses, mailshop.co.uk. Have a look at that.
just support us with a share. Just go and share one. Anything, don't matter. Share it to a group. Get it out there. The groups are the place to share them to. Thanks very much. And bye for now.